No graduation though. What else? I'm studying advertising, minoring in French, and I'm a KWVA disc jockey. I have done a bunch of things within the ad program here with like Ad Team and Allen Home Media, and the Daily Emerald, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
What's your disc jockey name?
Oh, it's super cool. If Frankie's still in the chat, she helped me with it. It's DJ Sourdough, and my show is called The Sour Show. All y'all actually just missed it. It was today from 11 to 12. DJ Sourdough, what's up, Frankie? DJ Bird, she's
So
right before me. Shout out.
Yes. That's so amazing. Hi, Grace.
Hello.
Hi, Guys.
Guaney.
Hi, Guys.
Hi, Frankie.
Were you covering your? You're just like.
No, I have a little thingy on my
For the FBI
slide.
I let the FBI in always.
Say hey to them.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I love it. We're excited to hear from you, Jonathan. Casey, it's all you. It's time to break the ice, people. Get excited.
Hold on, I have to switch to a hotspot because the Wi-Fi in my room is terrible.
Oh no.
There I go. So just, give me 2
Hold
seconds.
tight. Okay, we can do that. Grace, why can't I see you?
I'm so ugly.
Stop that. Stop.
Oh my gosh. Stop.
No, I don't know why. I don't know. Just
I see you, Nolan. Hi, Nolan.
I'm good.
Hey, Kara, how's it going?
So good. Oh my gosh, I can actually see you. Dang.
It's a cool house.
Doing this to me?
Yeah, look at that A-frame.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm in my cabin right now.
Wow, fancy.
Subtle flex.
Excited to be here.
Woo! Amazing.
Okay, I think it'll work. We're just
got
gonna
it?
go for it.
Okay, wonderful.
If it glitches out, I'm so sorry. Oh, you
It's just
gotta
like a real life icebreaker.
I know, you gotta enable the screen sharing.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right, you should have it now.
Okay.
Grace, thank you for the applause. I feel like a live streamer where they sit there and they respond to chat and call people out. Brittany, yes.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Woo! Oh my goodness, she's got a whole PowerPoint. Okay, let's.
I know, I threw it together. Okay, so I don't know exactly what this little game thing is called, but I know what it is. It's like there's photos, and you based on the photos, you can put together like a word or a phrase. Yeah. Okay. So that's basically what I did here. And I don't know if it's easier to do it just in the chat or if we want to raise hands or put little emojis for whoever's first. Emojis?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see, make sure I could see everybody. Or can someone help me out and make sure they see someone who's first?
I'll put grid view on and monitor.
Cool. Cool. Okay. So this is a warm-up.
Okay.
Guess that word or that phrase.
Wait, the phrase relating to this person? Oh, people are guessing in chat.
Oh.
Does that work for you?
Okay. Yeah.
Can you see chat?
Yes, I can.
Okay. People are guessing in chat now.
That's not the answer.
Wait, okay, what kind of phrase is it?
Yes, Thompson.
Oh my God.
Okay, I hope that one I guess was hard. I don't know. We'll try again.
It's okay, we got this.
This is after hours.
Love that. Oh my.
Somebody please get this one. Okay, who's this?
Danny.
Okay, and who's this? Yes, Frankie.
Hey, Frankie.
He got it.
Danny Morrison.
It's Dan Morrison, everybody.
Wow.
Okay.
side hustle.
Sidewalk.
Yes. Who said that?
Wow.
I literally said sidewalk slammer. That's so embarrassing. Oh my God.
I thought it was gonna be half away.
Oh my gosh. I'm
Halfway,
sorry.
halfway.
Oh my god.
This is a dumb one. I'm sorry.
House. Art.
What kind of house?
Play.
Modern art.
Yes, Thompson again.
Wait, dang. These are really clever. I will not lie. I wish
You guys, I literally said modern art hotel. This is really hard.
Here we go. Okay.
Adobe Creative Suite. Love that. Okay. Oh,
Duck tea.
Yes, Kara.
Wait, what is it?
one.
It's
Duck
Duck
TV.
TV. And their auditions for anyone still going to be at Oregon next year, their auditions are held week 1 of every term.
Hey.
Shout out Duck TV, I guess.
Oh, I was in Duck TV too.
One to me.
What?
I forgot that I was in Duck TV. Let's go, Duck TV.
It's tea. He's sipping the tea.
What's the V part?
Oh, it's V for Vendetta.
Vendetta, good movie.
Okay, got
Shout out to Noah, who has, I think, a sticker on his laptop. I don't remember.
There's a trend now, by the way. If you guys-
Upstream advertising.
Hey,
Yes. So
After
is that
open.
open?
after open. Oh my god. I love all these shout outs.
Yeah, these are great.
Wait.
Snape Hallway Times Square.
Okay, no, but what actor? What's his name? The actor's name.
Alan.
Oh, I only know Snape.
Alan Hall. Media.
Well, close. I.
Aha.
Wow.
That's it, everyone. Alan Hall advertising now. All
Woo!
coming soon.
That was wonderful, Casey.
I put a lot of work into that, guys.
No, once I got it, I got it. It was very clever.
I'm so embarrassed.
Do not be. That was genius. All right, amazing, amazing. If you guys want to further get to know each other, feel free to, private message someone in the room. Say hello, what's your LinkedIn? That kind of thing is always a win-win situation. So, Jonathan Roensch. No, Jonathan Roensch.
Yes.
Okay,
That's how you say my last name. Roensch.
love that. All right, I'm gonna hand it over to you. Go ahead and share your screen and give us the rundown about what you do.
Well, I wasn't going to share my screen just yet. I kind of was like, the structure of my thing was just going to be pretty loose and open-ended, and I kind of wanted it to be like a discussion almost. Like, if any of y'all had questions, like, feel free to ask it. And but now I just wanted to talk about like my side hustles. So along with school, I've been having to balance my photography career as well. And so like starting freshman year, I came into the business school like with very little photography knowledge, did a term of BA 101, and I was like, wow, this is just not for me at all. And then after I did BA 101, my roommate, Julian at the time, actually still my roommate, he asked me if I wanted to do journalism. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not going to get me any money. Like, why would I do that? And so I took J100. And then after that, like, I was like, whoa, this is kind of cool. Journalism is sick. And then I just like really wanted to start shooting film. And I had like a digital camera at the time, and I kept like mentioning like film photography is so cool. Like, I got to check this out. And Julian had knowledge of it already. And after spring break freshman year, I came back to my dorm, and as a birthday present for me was my first film camera ever from Julian. After that, I just like completely jumped into the film photography, like just started shooting film like crazy. It was really expensive, but I just had a feeling that I could do it. And so I went into my sophomore year. And so when I went into my sophomore year, I started with Emerald Essentials, which is like a little subdivision lifestyle magazine. And I shot with Michael Davies. And Michael Davies told me to apply there. And then he moved on to Allen Hall Media, and he was like, come on through, like we need you here as well. And so I was a photographer for both the Daily Emerald and Allen Hall Media. And then I just kept shooting, and I really felt that like I could do this. And I was like, I remember I would only take like shots of like still lifes or landscapes, and I was like, why don't I ask people to shoot? Like I've literally never asked anybody to shoot before because I was like too afraid to ask. And that's like being afraid is a good and bad thing. Being afraid can motivate you to have like a better outcome, and being afraid also can deter you from any situation. So you got to kind of like rumble and grumble with being afraid, and like you got to take, like, life is scary, you know, and like we all make choices, and like you never know which one is gonna help you out. And so after I was in Allen Hall Media, I just kept shooting, and I kept doing portraits, and someone asked me to be a part of this thing called Common Thread. And Common Thread was an exhibition. You're scared of me, Jasmine? Please don't. You're afraid of me? Okay.
No, that was a good and bad thing.
Oh, thank you. Beautiful. So Jasmine and I and another photographer, Ugo, we all got asked to be a part of Common Thread. And so for like 2-3 months, we were working on the project, like meeting up in the studio and just like, yeah, we would just like meet up in the studio and select 10 people and take their portraits, and those photos were going to get put in the Jordan Schnitzer Museum of Art on campus. And so I had that. And so junior year, we all got put in the Jordan Schnitzer. And then after that, I was like, yeah, portraits are really my thing. And so I just kept shooting portraits, asking people left and right. I was like, yo, like I'll do it for free. And as soon as like I started doing things for free and I started getting people to come my way, that's when I started like building my brand. So that summer in between junior year and senior year, I was in Eugene, and I remember I was like, am I gonna sit here and drink at the river all day, or am I gonna get off my ass and like start shooting? And so I just started asking people like crazy, like, hey, you have a cool look. Like, I like your aesthetic. Like, you look sick. Like, let's shoot. And so, yeah, I've gotten people like Jasmine. I've shot Jasmine before after we had like a beautiful talk. And yeah, like, yeah, you just got to keep asking people. And yeah. And so, yeah. So that during that summer, I was about to go to New York for a week or two. And one of my friends, Kate Bollinger, she is an up and coming musician. She really wanted, like, we have mutual friends, and like we were like, hey, we should shoot in New York. Like she's like on tour. She's like gonna be in Brooklyn. And I was like, oh, let's shoot the next day. Like, let's do that. And so I shot her the next day after shooting her concert, and I like went to the film store in New York, like immediately got all the photos back, and I was like, hell yes, like this is some of my best work. And then all of a sudden, one of the photos became one of her single covers for her song "No Other Like You," and that has about 600,000 listens, and it got put on Tidal. So it's all about like keeping your connections, and it's about keeping in contact with people. I'd say that like side hustles are all about your network, and side hustles are about who you connect with. Like making friends is really important, because when you make friends, you got to remember to like keep in contact with them, because you never know, like we're all growing individuals, and you'll never know like what kind of person that friend at the time is going to become. And it kind of, thank you, Jessica. And yeah, after shooting Kate, I just kept shooting portraits, and I got asked by the Luna Collective, which is just like a little submission magazine for photos. And I asked them if I could just submit some of my photos in there, and they were like, hell yeah. And after that, like after like being in the Luna Collective and just like submitting photos, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but like it's so quiet, like I feel like I'm driving myself crazy. Can someone say something?
Yes,
Holy
it's
shit.
I completely agree. No,
Yeah.
I love what you're saying. I love that you talked about when you were in that early stage, because that's the most, what am I going to do? What's going on kind of thing.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
like, moving forward, after you were a part of the Luna Collective, what was the next thing that you were a part of that you were like, okay, damn, this is some really good work that I get to
Mhm.
say I did and be a part of?
So like the theme for the Luna Collective is that like I would submit my work to them, and I would just like be like, take it, like put it out there, like you can have all of my work. And I just wanted to get commissioned and published. And so like from the Luna Collective, I like started to notice that there were a bunch of little small zines popping up. Like here's like a little photo zine, and I was like, shoot that over there. And then here's this one called Spots.club, and then I sent that over there. Hey, Julian. And Spots.club is a photo magazine that's only sold in New York and Paris, and I submitted 7 photos to them, and 3 of them got chosen to be in their picks 9 and 10. So it's all about just like taking your work and submitting it, and just like doing what you can with it, and just like submit like crazy, like make yourself, like put yourself out there. You know, the worst thing that anybody is going to say is no, which is something that I've had to learn over the time, over my time here at UO. Putting yourself out there is also scary as well, because nobody wants to deal with rejection, but rejection is the only thing that allows you to grow. And dealing with closed doors always opens another. So if somebody tells you no, like if like a job is like, hey, you're not best suited here, then you're not best suited there, or at that time. So just like apply to like niche places, apply to like chaotic places, you know, like up, maybe not up and coming startups, but like something that's like smaller, but they have their roots, and not everybody there is the best. Because if everybody there is the best, then where are you gonna be?
Yeah.
And yeah. That's all I can think of. Oh, okay. Actually, that's a total lie. And then like joining extracurriculars in the ad school was really important. And building my network in the ad school was really important. I got to meet a lot of different people through my classes and through the extracurriculars that I was in, like ad team and my magazine design class. In ad team, I met people like Kenzie, who's in this call, and a guy named Hudson and Brittany. Hey, Brittany. And yeah, Hudson is just another art director like me, art director, photographer. And he just asked me if I wanted to shoot his brand that he was starting. And so I was like, yeah, I'll shoot your brand as long as you're like gonna pay for the film developing, like that works. And so we did 2 shoots, and that went really well. And now all of my work is on their website. Or how do I do the screen thing?
Oh, on the very bottom, green arrow says.
Shoot. Wait.
It's kind of confusing. I know there's a lot of buttons.
Okay. I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh, that did work. Wait, is this working?
Oh yeah, wait. You're good.
Oh shit. Didn't I? All right. Okay. So this is Hound. Can everybody see this?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like an old teacher. I feel like Daniel Miller. Daniel Miller's like
Oh,
has so many
Daniel Miller.
technical difficulties. He's such a cutie. But yeah. So this is Hound. So Hound is a logo and print shop, and so yeah, Hudson just asked me to take photos for him. And so here's on the left is a photo of Lo, and a photo of Chang on the right here. And I don't think he has any of my newest stuff, but I shot a roll of 35 mil on them. And what I did with that is I put it in tequila. And what that does is something like this. So when you put a roll of film in tequila, it ends up looking, oh shit. It ends up looking like this.
That's so weird.
So you see how there's like blue and purple and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that wasn't me. That's not post. That's literally alcohol interacting with film. And so the same thing happened on these two photos, and which is why it's called the wet edition for the Oregon Voice.
Are you ever scared something's gonna happen when you go
all
through
the time?
this?
Yeah. So this shot right here is in Angers, France, and I brought 14 rolls when I studied abroad, and I took these two photos when I studied abroad there. The one of my friend Jewel is in Lake Como, and then the one on the left is in Angers. And I got really afraid. I like heard from a friend whose name is Reed, and he was like, yo, like one of my friends like puts their shit in like alcohol and like coffee grounds, and like you should try it. And I was like, okay, like I'll try it. And I was really skeptical at first, but turns out really well. And so yeah, so like I guess since I'm here on my website, these are just all of the places that I've applied to or just like submitted my work to. So there's the Oregon Voice, which is a arts and culture mag on campus. They just recently dropped their sick edition. It is pretty sick, actually.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. And then yeah, you can just like submit, and here's some of my work in there. And then we have the Luna Collective. The Luna Collective, yeah, so the funny thing about this is that, remember earlier how I was like, you got to keep your network?
Mm-hmm.
So the owner of the Luna Collective went to my high school. And her name is Sophie Gregg. They're on their 11th issue right now. And I'm in their spring one, fall, winter, and then yeah, I remember Sophie just asked me, she was like, hey, you're from my high school. I noticed that you did photos. We're both ginger. Do you want to be in the Luna Collective? And I was like, yeah, why not? Like, let's go. And so, yeah, that happened. And then with the Luna Collective, I wanted to open up, like with my Luna Collective connection, I wanted to open it up to different people in Eugene. So there's a clothing brand called Late Bloomer that I shot with before quarantine. And for the Luna's 12th edition, the photos from Late Bloomers, the shots from Late Bloomers, their like new line is gonna be up in the 12th edition. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, and I met Hunter and Josh in the J school. Oh, bye, Nolan. I met Hunter and Josh, the owners of Late Bloomer, in the J school. I remember Josh was in my creative strat class, and I remember he did this like reusable clothing thing, which I think ended up becoming Late Bloomer. And I remember I was so intimidated by him because I thought he was so cool. for having like a whole like clothing brand. And I was like, whoa, this kid's sick. And then little did I know that I would be shooting with them like 2 years later. And yeah, so I don't really know what else I gotta say. So if anybody has,
I was gonna say, I think like while you're showing your work and everything, people are more than welcome to unmute and just say anything, ask a question, say hello. Does anybody have anything on their minds right now that they wanted to ask?
I do. John, what would you or what advice would you have for young creative photographers that are looking to get into film photography? Like, are there places on campus that help develop, or like if I were to try to develop my own, how would I start that?
Yeah, great question, Kent. For someone who's starting out in film, I would say like start with just like I don't know, like buy cheap film at first because there's always room for error. And then on campus, so there is an arts and crafts place on campus that's closed right now, but they develop black and white only. Like there's like a thing. I've never actually developed my own film, so I kind of seem like a coward. But like,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
I go to Dot Dotson's. Shout out Dot Dotson's, support local. They're great. They're so nice there. They know how to pronounce my last name. Yeah, I mean, I just like to start. Oh, Julian, you missed this. I completely shouted you out and you were gone. I was saying that Julian Croman gave me my first ever film camera. But what I would say is I would just like, could you repeat your question? I feel like a dumbass right now. Sorry.
I guess let me modify it and tell us more about the process of like putting your film in tequila. So what, like, you're literally just taking the film out of your camera and like setting it in the tequila like to get the wet exposure, or
Yeah.
and then you send that to Dots, or what?
Mm-hmm. So that's a whole specific thing. So like if I want to put like a roll in tequila, like I'll take the film canister that it came in, like the little plastic thing, put the roll in there, pour tequila up to the brim, and then seal it, soak it overnight, leave it to like sit out for like 5 days, because Dotson's will charge you for wet film. So like if your film is wet, they'll charge you like $5 extra. So like I've had a scanner. So like I'd say that like it's pretty, for film photographers, you need like a whole setup, and like it's a lot of money. Like I really want, like on my bucket list right now is a printer, a scanner for film negatives, and just like a different camera as well because my camera's broken. But yeah, I really want a scanner and a printer, because a scanner halves the price. It cuts your price in half. Like it's so cheap. And then you can like scan your negatives whenever you want. And then a printer, just so that I could like mess around with different like printing styles. Like I did this one thing once. It's called I called it infected imagery, and I submitted this to the Oregon Voice. But so I took this photo, and this is actually 2 photos on top of each other, and it's 2 of the same photo. And so I just like ripped it, and then I like put it like immediately down there. And then I have like this with crayon. This is just like a whole art project that I did, that I submitted to the Luna Collective. And this is why I want a scanner and a printer, because I don't have one anymore. And yeah, any other questions?
I think I had one more. I'm sorry, I'm talking so much.
Yeah, go for it.
Right now is so weird because I feel like everyone's on with what they're going to do this summer, because there's so much, like back in the day, it was what internship are you getting? Where are you applying? All this sort of pressure from every direction to get an internship, but that's not a thing anymore. And so
So
I want to know how side hustles plays into that for you and your suggestions for everyone else.
definitely. Yeah, this whole COVID thing is actually affecting me as well. I actually haven't. The last time I shot something was for just for fun, actually. But the last time I shot something for like work was for Late Bloomer, which was in February. Um, I've kind of been at a standstill right now.
Mhm.
Like I wanna have. I just need money, you know. Like
Yeah.
I like wanna do a lot of things, and I have a lot of things on my bucket list, but all of those things cost money.
Yeah.
Get your
And
stimulus check.
what?
Oh, yeah. Dead ass.
I did not get a stimulus check because I was unemployed pre. So, yeah, but it's all really difficult right now. I'm actually
Mhm.
not applying anywhere.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm looking, but I've been hearing from like a bunch of my friends, like saying like, "Oh, just applied somewhere," and they were like, "Your stuff's great, but like, why now?" You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and so we're just kind of taking it I'm just kind of taking it day by day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like what I do is I like follow someone or like some corporation on Instagram, and I'm like, that's sick. Go to their website, check and see if they have any careers. If they do, copy that link, save it, and if they don't, move on.
Yeah.
I've just been like archiving places that I want to work, and just honestly waiting on the world to figure out what we got to do.
Totally.
I haven't been able to freelance because I actually am still like completely confused on like what the policy is on shooting. Like I know like we could go outside and like I can shoot from 6 feet away, but is that really moral or ethical? And is that really, am I really doing my part? You know, like because I don't know, like if I go out and shoot, like I could get corona, you know, like I don't even
Yeah.
know. Like
I know it's
yeah.
limbo right now, I feel like. And I also have literally nothing lined up for this summer. Does
Yeah.
anybody else want to speak to that about, I think this is just such a topic that's been on my mind recently. If anyone like has what they're doing this summer or any advice on that topic.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Jasmine.
I mean, I got some things like squared away with an internship before this whole thing hit and before you were
Congrats.
closed. Yeah, it was actually with OPB, and I like everything was like we were in the process of like getting ready to like just you know get connected with people. Like I had already had my interviews with them and like got the liaison built between folks from the staff of UO or SOJC, and then also staff from their corporation or whatever. And so I already had these initial conversations, and like the last part, like right before UO closed, then I was supposed to do another follow-up and like just get everything super solidified, but literally everything happened so fast. So now everything's a kind of like at a halt. So I'm like, but then I also had to bear in mind like I mean, it's OPB, like they're doing journalistic work and coverage. So like while we're spiraling out here, like how are we going to get an interview like as students and shit? Like this is somebody that's like
Yeah.
been here, you know, OPB's like been like here. And the moment this shit hit here, especially in Oregon, I knew like I wasn't about to hear from them in a minute. So I've been like confiding in my professor, Professor Ed, and he was just kind of like consolidating with me because I mean I don't mind following up, like I'm not shy about it, but I'm also like damn, like how many follow-ups, there's too many follow-ups, especially during this time too. So I've been like bearing that in mind. Like I only reached out like one other time, but the world seems still, like everything that's in normal operation is or constantly going is just at a halt.
Mhm.
Nicole and I are in the same OR Mag class, and
Mhm.
our theme this year is freedom versus captivity. And because it's just like really like this thing is like stopped a lot of normal operation, and like there was big talk amongst our story groups, like, you know, what's the normal after this?
Right.
You know, like everyone has their own version of what the normal is for
Mhm.
just how they normally operate and like live. And now everything is like, you have to second guess everything, you know, for your own sake, for others' sake, and like for your own livelihood even. So it's been wild, but I'm also like simultaneously trying to keep in mind that a lot of people are at halt, you know, like a lot of places or a lot of things that were in motion, like it's not in motion for other people too. So I'm like not trying to really think about it too heavily, because I think a lot of people are also conscious of that, you know. And so everyone's trying to figure out how to figure themselves out and what's around them too.
Yeah.
Which I think is important too, you know, because I think there's no better time than to care about what the hell is going on for you, because like, I mean, who else is going to do that?
Yeah.
Right. So like you have obviously loved ones and shit, but it's just like I don't blame a lot of people for just like focusing now, especially during this time, on like what their capacities are and like what they can and can't bear. And like if that means like you can't hit me up as a potential intern right now because you're trying to figure out how to work remotely, you know, like I get that. So I've just been kind of thinking like all things considered when like I'm panicking, like, oh shit, like is this thing still like on the board, or you know, is this still a thing that's a possibility? Because they're also in question too, even the professionals. So
Mhm.
Right.
yeah, a lot of shit's shutting down.
Like even USPS.
Mhm.
So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
wild.
mean, I definitely agree. So after post grad, I really want to head out to New York. And I just texted one of my friends, Teddy Popick, who was in ad team last year, and we became acquainted through Align magazine. And I was like, yo, dude, like, is it even like, cause he's bunkering down in New York. And I'm like,
Right.
yo, is this even possible? And he's like, don't worry about this. Like right now, like, just like let everybody else figure it out. And as soon as we are hearing things, then like start applying. Yeah, I know I want to head out to New York, but I think I need to start thinking realistically and thinking like, oh, should I stay in Portland for a year, or oh, should I just send it? You know, like I don't know.
Honestly.
I feel like such a douche for saying send it. Ugh. But yeah, I've been like really thinking about New York for the past like 3 years, and all of a sudden like it's just like all up in the air, you know.
Yeah.
So that's like another thing that I really wanted to emphasize is like kind of like have dreams but lower your expectations. um Nothing's gonna be the way you want it to be 100%. And I've noticed that everything that I've been expecting has failed me in some kind of way. um I had like our school offers the New York trip, and I've been like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh no way, like I'm gonna go out to New York, I'm gonna hit up this and this, we're gonna shoot, I'm gonna play a club, I'm gonna like do a house set at a club, like I'm gonna hang out with my best friend George and like meet all of his friends and like shoot all of them, and then now we're here now. So
Right.
like yeah, definitely it's definitely been like a sobering experience, like kind of just like having all of your expectations just like shot, you know. and I find that like the door, another door reference, like, and I find that like the doors that like aren't open, or the doors that you don't think about, open like the biggest potential.
Yeah,
It's
especially
the
right
stuff
now.
that you don't expect that's really gonna like bring you far. Like I remember I wasn't expecting to be a part of like any organization. I wasn't expecting to be a part of like anything. It all just kind of like fell into my lap and like kind of worked out. And just by like being authentic and like keeping connections and like checking in with friends. Make sure to check in with your friends, people. I know it's hard, but like just check in with your friends. Yeah, it's really important to. I was speaking with one of my roommates' uncle, Owen's uncle. Hey, Owen. And he was saying that a good tip for like keeping your network steady is like by writing down their name and contact in an Excel spreadsheet and just like organizing and like keeping up with all those people. And it's really fun, like networking and connecting and seeing how people are and like for example, like the Luna Collective, Sophie, her name's Sophie Gregg. Sophie Gregg and I were never friends. We went to high school together. Like we never really talked, and we just followed each other on Instagram. And I noticed that she was starting the Luna Collective, and I remember it was like, I remember I like saw it like when her first issue came out, and I was like, what's this? Like, okay, like I wasn't like, whoa, you know, like what's this? Like I was like, what's this? And it's the things that you don't expect, honestly. And yeah, like Sophie and I were not friends. All we knew was that we're both ginger and we go to PVPHS. And 3 years later, I like got my photos in her magazine. So
Right.
yeah.
Casey, did you have something to say? I think you unmuted for a second and I was ready for it.
Oh, I did, but it was kind of back when we were in the dumps of how everything kind of got taken away. I mean, yeah, I mean it does totally suck. Like as a lot of us, I pretty sure our seniors in here like that. It just fucking sucks, and that's like a thing. But I've actually like I feel like I'm more connected with alumni or with like the industry world more than I ever have been or thought I would be right now. Like I didn't have anything lined up for the summer and was kind of like, okay, if it comes May and I still don't, like just take a breather, which I think was really difficult for me to do because of the whole push to have something. So like I think this is kind of a good time for everyone to kind of take that breather and have that kind of patience that something's going to come out of this in the end, and like you will have a job at some point. And when I worked, so last summer didn't have an internship either, worked in a winery, which is like really cool but has like nothing to do with what I want to do. And my boss, she told me that the story of her life basically where she moved to all these places and like moved to New York and worked in a shipyard and ran a shipyard, and then she moved to I can't remember which country, but she moved there with her brother for a while and worked just doing whatever, living abroad. And she's like, and that was like 11 years ago, and now I'm here back home with my family, like running the family thing. And she said like those things, like you don't think they're going to happen, and you don't think 11 years of your life are just going to go by, but it doesn't feel like they go by. It's like it's just your life at that point. So like everything changes like in a year so fast, like our lives have changed in like a month. So just like keep in perspective, like this 1 year is probably going to suck a little longer than we want it to, but in the grand scheme of things, like it'll just end up being another piece of your life that you look back on and you're like, that was hard, but it's better now. Hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
My hopeful spiel.
Yeah, I really liked that. I was also thinking like another way like that you could keep yourself active is rebuilding your structure. So for example, like for me, as a film photographer, you have like negatives and you have like all this gear and all that, and like what I would say is just work on like your ideas and work on and like read a good book or something. Like I don't read, but like if you don't read, like look at photo books like I do. A photo book is a great way to gain inspiration. So yeah, just like look at one like big tip that I've gotten is like looking at like old photographers. I'd look at old photographers and take notes on their work, as well as like looking at newer photographers and taking key things that I've learned from their shots and using that to make my photos. Yeah, and also it's making photos, not taking photos. Like I've been watching, I don't know, apparently. So
I've heard that.
yeah. And another thing that I've been doing is my dad actually gave me his old VHS recorder, and I remember watching like my 5th grade talent show on that or something. Maybe not 5th grade talent show, but like I remember I was like on some stage. But like I'm using that now, and I'm like trying to open up my platform to video as well. So just like honestly, yeah, just like if something is stopping you, like try to find like try to like finagle another way around it, you know, like,
Finagle.
or like start a new hobby, or yeah.
I noticed that a fellow Roensch has joined us.
That's my sister. She's gonna be a junior next year at UO. Shout out PR. What's up, Lauren?
Hello. Incredible. Do people have more questions for Jonathan?
And they don't have to be like extremely work related.
Totally. Anything and everything.
I have a question for Jonathan.
You
You talked earlier about not doing stuff for free. How do you kind of go from, like, how do you have that awkward conversation with someone where, like, you're not going to let them, like, push you around, I guess, and do something?
Good question.
Okay, that's a great thing. So when you hire someone to clean your house, do you just say later, after? No, you give them money. So it's kind of like you're asking someone to, I don't know, like kind of like going with the expectation that's like, this is like what I do, you know? So it's like, might as well, like, this is what's going to pay the bills. This is what's going to let me eat, you know, like ask for money. And like finding comfort within yourself and knowing your worth is also a really big step in determining your rate. Like at first I was doing everything for free, and then I was like, this is really expensive. and and I like, yeah, I remember actually one of the first shoots that I charged was laundry. Shout out Laundry. Frankie is the manager of Laundry, actually. They're a local Eugene band. I think everybody here, I don't know, I don't recognize some names, but I think everybody here is from Eugene, right? But yeah, so I shot Laundry, and I remember I was like, okay, like they're doing music, like they make money for their shows, like I kind of want to, like, I think I need to put my foot down and be like, I'm making money now, you know? And so if people like ask me to shoot, then I'll charge. But if like the idea is my own and I'm like, oh, well, like I want, like I like see this person in this field, I'm like, it's my like mental property, I'm not gonna charge. Like, but like if people want me to do work for them, then that's when I'm gonna charge. And like having the conversation is pretty awkward, not gonna lie, because like I've literally gone from like saying like $100 to like they're like way lower than that. But I'd say it's all in circumstance, and actually no, it's not all in circumstance. I'm actually doing like a really bad, like I'm not doing my best because I don't have like I need to start practicing using a certain rate. Like I need to be like, this is my rate. Like a lot of times I'll fluctuate it like $20-ish sometimes. And I'm starting to be like, no, like I need this, like after Corona, I'm going to start charging a flat rate.
Mhm.
And yeah.
I mean, every photographer friend that I have that's like our age has the exact same thing where it's like, it's so awkward, especially because it's like usually like friends or like friend of a friend or
Mhm.
acquaintance, like, and they're our same age. Like, it's really hard to do that.
It's so awkward because
Yeah.
like photos are just like, I don't know, they're just like visual things, and it's like it doesn't seem like it should cost that much money, but like thinking about it, I've done like 4+ years. I like studied like on my own, and like think like all the people who don't take photos, like they don't have all of like the learning experience that I've experienced. And like I'd say, yeah, like definitely coming to recognize my own worth really aided me in like asking for rates.
Cool. Respect.
Thanks.
I feel like on that, I know there might be people in here who have joined with the goal of potentially doing something similar, starting to charge for their work and
Mhm.
crafts. Do you have like a recommendation for setup? Like how do you invoice people? What do you recommend with people who want to start doing
That's a good question. Like I'm honestly like not an expert on this, just
that? Right.
saying. Like I'm dealing with it as much as all of y'all are.
Right.
And yeah, I'd say like what I'm doing is I'm starting to just like for the amount of hour that I'm shooting and like the amount of rolls that I'm shooting, I'm gonna determine like a rate. And
Oh yeah. Okay.
it's different for digital photographers because you could limit it to like you could just be like 100 photos for this much money. And I'd say just like having like a numerical value of photos like equivalating to a monetary value is really really good. Like for me, I will charge like for 1 roll, 2 rolls, etc.
Got it.
And what I would recommend for starting is I just use Venmo. It's like not, I don't think it's like legal.
Easy.
I don't actually think what I'm doing is legal, to be completely honest.
It's okay.
But
We didn't tell anyone.
yeah, please don't, because I'm not like established as a business.
Right.
Like I've watched a photographer's video like of them like just like literally like setting up their business online, and I haven't done that yet, and I've been waiting for like I really want to like I don't know, I really want to just like I want to start my own business, but I'm also like, should I go into like a more corporate thing?
Yeah.
And I just don't know what's appropriate. So like I'm still figuring that out too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We have 3 minutes. Does anybody else have a final thought, final question? Zoom is so weird.
Zoom is pretty weird. Am I still sharing the screen?
I think so.
Oh.
Brittany, hit us with a thumbs up. Amazing. Thank you so much, Jonathan. This is beautiful.
Of course.
Oh my gosh, I love the screen share. This is like a thing every time.
How do I pause this? Pause share. Stop share. There we go.
Oh dang. Okay, cool. Love that. Okay, Jonathan, thank you so much. That was
Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. I like opened grid view and just saw so many names staring back at me. It was just pure excitement. This is a great time.
Yeah, I've been looking at all the names and I've been shitting myself the whole time. So
I know, it's scary. Especially because it's so quiet. You just sit here and people are like there.
Legit, just wait until one of y'all have to do this. Like it's like you're just like talking at a computer and it's like dead silence. Literally like nothing. And I'm like, are people getting this? Like
Yeah.
usually like when you're having like an interpersonal conversation, people will be like, you'll get some head nods. I'm
Right.
like, yeah.
Right.
I don't know. The Zoom stuff is weird.
Yeah.
But
We're doing our best. And then everyone, Jonathan will be podcasting with us this Sunday. So look out for that and tune in when that goes live as well. So yes. Amazing.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you all so much. We will call it. Any last words, Jonathan?
Shoot or shoot.
Love that. Okay. Thank you all so much. I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. Everyone have a peaceful night. Stay healthy. Stay home. Love you all.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for coming.